everyone. Welcome to Haunting Live Podcast. We are doing Haunting Live Podcast number 20 tonight. Thanks very much for tuning in. You tuned in on a great night tonight. It is a Saturday evening here, and we have a special guest on tonight. So we took a little break last week, and we didn't have a podcast last week. So we took a little downtime and tried to tweak out some of the issues that we've been having with our audio and stuff like that here in studio. And we got one of our friends that we know that is into audio and stuff like that. He helped us out a great deal last weekend, and we want to send a special thank you shout out to him for helping us out all weekend last weekend. It was a big help, and hopefully we have got things tweaked out a little bit better here on the studio. So we want the sound to be the best it can be for you guys, and so hopefully things are a little bit better. We took some time off last week, but we're back this week for Haunting Live Podcast. Thanks very much for tuning in, everybody, and hope you're having a wonderful weekend and a wonderful Saturday evening. Tonight, though, we do have a special guest. We took last week off, but this week we do have a new guest, someone that we have not had on the show before. Her name is Karen Blackstock. And she's into a lot of different stuff that we're going to talk to her about today on the podcast and just see what she's into. For mediumship, she does a lot of different things like Reiki, she does crystal healing, and she does a lot of work with essential oils and stuff like that as well. So something different that we haven't talked a lot about on the podcast is different ways that you can use different things with Reiki and how that is beneficial to the mediumship world, and what Reiki does exactly for different things like oils and crystals and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a really interesting talk, and just to see what she offers. And so as always, I'm Trevor, your host for Haunting Live Podcast. It is Haunting Live Podcast number 20. We've been doing live in-studio podcasts now for at least 20 shows, and things are going a lot better, we hope, now. So everything seems to be working out better here. So thanks very much for tuning in, guys. As always, Chris is over on chat tonight, so if you guys have questions or you have any issues, please bring them up with Chris in chat, and we'll try to get them corrected as we go along here if there are any issues. So we're hoping we've got those bugs tweaked out, though, as of last weekend here on the podcast. So thanks very much, though, for tuning in. Other thing we want to mention, as always, is our brand new website that we have launched a little while ago. Check out HauntingLivePodcast.com. It's our brand new up-to-date website. Has all of our feeds on there, from our social media, from our Facebook to our Twitter, even our YouTube channels on there, so you don't have to go to YouTube. You can go directly to our website and watch the videos there if you want. Every podcast that we do, we also post to YouTube and social media, so you guys can always go back and check out previous podcasts if you want, and watch them right on YouTube. Other thing we do have on our website is our Eventbrite ticket page. Anytime we have our public events that we host for public events, we will have them on our event page under our website, where you guys can buy our tickets directly from there, so you don't have to go anywhere else. Just directly to our website under our Eventbrite app, and go there to find the tickets for the upcoming events. Now, the one that's up there right now is a great event coming up. There's going to be a postponed event that we had started back in March before COVID started, and we were supposed to have that in the spring, but we had to postpone it, and we rescheduled it with the Queen's Inn Hotel, and they agreed to rehost it later in November. So we're still going ahead with it. It's going to be hosted on November 6th and 7th. There's some great deals on pricing and stuff there right now on the website, so tickets are still available for sale right now if you're interested in checking that event out. It's a 2-night event. Friday night, you get a dinner and then a chat and meet us in person and stuff like that. And then Saturday afternoon and in the morning, there's going to be workshops for you guys to take part in. And then on Saturday night, there's a ghost hunt of the Queen's Hotel with us. So you can check that out. It's a 2-night event. You can also stay directly at the hotel as well. If you're interested in staying at the hotel, though, you have to contact Sally. She's our co-worker that works at the Queen's Inn, and she's the one that's looking after all the bookings for the rooms for that weekend. So if you're interested in staying directly at the hotel in Stratford, Ontario, it's the Queen's Inn Hotel, and contact Sally to get ticket information as well as booking your rooms. So Tickets through our website are also available right now for the event, and yeah, they're still on sale for November's event. So I think it's going to be an awesome event when it gets here. So looking forward to that. And other than that, we do have one other major announcement that we want to lay down for you guys. We did just recently, as of August the 1st, 2020, launch our merch section. Our brand new merch section is now available on HauntingLivePodcast.com. You guys can go and check out the different products that we have available, everything from pendulums down to smudging materials, down to crystals, and even some handmade bags or spiritual bags that you can store your tarot cards in, stuff like that. And those are homemade, and you can check all that stuff out under our HauntingLivePodcast.com merch page. Everything is done online just via PayPal, so you can use your credit card or your PayPal account and pay directly online, and then we'll ship the stuff out to you as soon as possible. So definitely worth going checking out. There's going to be also some brand new stuff on our merch page, hopefully starting next week. We're going to start having some consigners also with us, so there's going to be some interesting side products for you guys to check out as well. That's going to be on there very soon. So go check out our merch page. And the only final thing I want to mention, guys, before we bring on our special guest tonight, is to go and sign up for our mailing list. We're still trying to gain some more people on our brand new mailing list on our website, so we can send you guys up-to-date information, what's happening with products on the merch page. We'll send you first information when we have things like special events and special guests on. We'll send information out to you guys on email before anything gets posted onto our social media, Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. You guys will get notified first. So go to our website, sign up for free to our mailing list. All we require is your first name, last name, and of course your email address. That's it. So, and once we get that going, we're going to start to send out some emails later on. So other than that, that's about all the announcements that we have to start off our podcast for tonight. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope things are sounding great on your end. We took last weekend off just to kind of take a break and get some of the audio issues and other things in the studio that we had going on fixed. And hopefully things are sounding a lot better now for you guys on your end with that. But anyways, tonight's guest, like I said, before we started, is Karen Blackstock. She does a lot of Reiki work, a lot of healing work, stuff with crystals, as well as essential oils and stuff like that. So we're going to talk to her tonight about what she does. So let's just give her a quick call here online. Just give me one moment, and we'll bring her up here. Blackstock. Hi there.
Hi.
Are we okay with you guys online now? You can hear me okay?
I can hear you wonderful.
Oh, great. That's good to hear. Just give me one moment here. I'm just going to adjust one thing quickly. There we go. Okay, well, thank you very much, Karen, for joining us here on Haunting Live Podcast. We greatly appreciate you as a guest tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, well, your work goes along great with what we do. We try to have different mediums on our show that do things their own way, and we try to focus on what your way is. So want to start with just telling us a bit about what you do, and we'll start from there.
Okay, what I do.
Yeah, it's a wide open question, I know. How about we start with the Reiki? Let's narrow that down a little bit.
I do a lot of different things.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with Reiki.
Yep.
I do two different kinds of Reiki. I do Asui Reiki and I do Celtic Reiki. The difference between the two is Asui Reiki is universal energy. It comes from above and through us and then into the client. Celtic Reiki comes from the earth. It's plant and tree based, and it is the way it's used is we go in through the feet and then up and out through the crown, as where with Usui we come in through the crown and out through the feet.
Okay, so it works a little bit opposite of each other. So are there
Yes.
Different benefits to doing each way? So maybe start with how that works with each one. So what are the benefits to using one to the other?
Depending on the person, I think, is what determines which one I use. If I find that I have a client that is extremely ungrounded, the Celtic Reiki is sometimes a little bit more beneficial because it's pulling in the earth energies. So it's tree-based, plant-based, it's all earthbound. So it helps bring them back to grounded space. That's where the Asui does the same thing. It's just universal energy. So we're pulling in energy from the universe and bringing it in through the crown and moving any energy blocks down through the body that way, making sure the chakras are spinning and open correctly and moving nicely instead of, kind of being a little sticky or blocked up.
Yeah, so does a person's, I guess, aura or their energy really depend on which one you choose for that person?
Sometimes it does, yeah. If I find that their aura is radiating more of a green, earth-based, brown energies like that, I lean more to earth-based energy. If I find that they're more, how do I put this, into the astrological, they're more outer space bound, as if you understand what I mean. I don't talk about it very often, so it's hard for me to find the correct words. I usually am only talking to myself about it. So
Yeah, no worries. Take your time explaining if you need it. That's fine.
It's different. There's a lot more symbols involved with the Celtic Reiki than Asui Reiki. The energy moves differently as well. I find when I'm doing Asui Reiki and the energy is flowing through the crown and down through the body, it feels different. It's a different type of push is the best way I can explain it. I find Asui coming in through the crown is much more gentle. Sometimes with people that need grounding, when they're very flighty, they're very emotional, they're very unbalanced, the Celtic Reiki just pulls them down faster. It gets them settled quicker than I find the Asui does. Both are very beneficial in their own way.
Okay, so say somebody has a lot of hyped up energy and stuff like that. Are they very kind of like a high strung person? Which one would you choose for that person then?
I would use the Celtic Reiki. Like my daughter has high anxiety. Celtic Reiki works better on her than an Asui.
Yeah, I do too. I
Because
get anxiety quite often, so that would be good for me probably.
it's interesting. If you have someone in your area that you can actually have a session and try it and try the difference between the two, I think you would notice the difference between the two energies very easily.
Yeah. Sorry, just adjusted one thing there.
No problem.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Like, is it hard to know what a person's energy is before you go into a session with somebody, or how do you kind of read that person before you start to know what the next step is with them?
I'm feeling their energy before they even get here.
Okay.
I had one client in particular whose energy was very, very high strung. I felt that person 2 hours before they came.
Oh, really?
And when they got here, I knew just by what I had experienced over that 2 hour period waiting for them to arrive for their appointment, I already knew what crystals I was going to use on them. I already knew what type of Reiki I was going to use on them. And I also knew that I was going to use a form of meditation to help relax them before I actually started the Reiki.
Okay, so you kind of have a sense beforehand, like even before you meet the person in person, what the requirements will be for what type of Reiki to use on them. So that really helps you. You don't have to wait till they get there to know what to use.
Yeah, it's kind of nice when you get a little heads up as to what's coming, and you can prepare, and it makes it a lot easier for the client, I think, to relax when they see that, oh, she's got this. She already knew I was going to be a mess when I got here, so that's great.
Like too, it helps you prepare too. So, and it, like you said, it helps relax the client when they actually come to see you. That, oh, she knows what I'm already here for. So.
Yeah, and it's like it's funny, I'll have different ones, they'll come through the door and it'll be, oh, you probably already know I'm a mess, and it's like, well, yeah, I kind of felt that a little while ago, but that's okay, that's why I'm here. That's why you're coming. So we can sort it all out and make you feel better. And that is the best part about what I do, is seeing the client when they initially come in and then looking at their face and their posture and just their overall energy when they had a treatment, and they're just completely and totally relaxed. That's really neat about having the ability to kind of feel them before they actually show up, is when I know somebody's coming in a heightened state of anxiety, I'm guided to what essential oil to use for them too. It's like, I have not gone to school and got any degrees in aromatherapy or essential oil healing. I am not certified in any of that. It is just something that I took on as a personal thing for myself. It helped me. I use it daily. And it was just part and parcel of when a client would come in a heightened state of anxiety or even a slight state of depression. I would just kind of get a sense of, okay, I'm going to use this. And I would choose an oil, and all I do is put a dab in each of their palms. They just inhale it for a few minutes before they get all laid out on the table and get comfortable. And it just, again, is just one more thing that allows them to get to that state of relaxation where they get every single benefit from the energy that is flowing from the universe or from Mother Earth through me to them.
Okay, that's one other thing then. How do you know what to use when they come in? I know you just said that you get kind of told what oil would work with them, but what's the benefits of using oil along with Reiki healing?
Well,
Like,
oils have their own vibration, just like Reiki has its own vibration, just like crystals have their own vibration. So anything that you can incorporate to help bring that person's vibrational energy up is a benefit, because they're coming to me because their energy already isn't functioning well for them. So and that's usually because their energy is low. So anything that we can do to help bring it up, bring that vibration up, brings them relief.
right. So you work with crystals as well as the oils when you do the Reiki sessions with somebody. Do you often work with them together at the same time, or do you find it's more
Yes.
one or the other? You use the oils or do you use the crystals?
It usually is both. Some people, I am told, like, nope, no crystals. It's just, you do this, you add this oil, and you do this Reiki. That's it. And I'm intuitively guided to that. Every single treatment I do, I'm intuitively guided as to what I'm going to do on that person.
Okay. Yeah, so you basically get the message beforehand that I
Yep.
need to do these steps with this person in order to raise their vibrations up more.
Yeah, it's just a really neat sense that comes over me, and it's just like, yep, I need to do this, 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 and this.
Okay, that's really interesting. Like, it really just connects with you on the level beforehand, and then it really reaches out to that person and hopefully helps them in the end. Have you had a lot of success with that? Like, has it been really positive?
I have not had anyone tell me they haven't had a positive experience yet. I've had in the few years that I've actually been doing this, I actually had my first block the other day with a client, and it's the very first time since I started doing it. It kind of threw me for a loop, and I'm still kind of figuring out why it happened, but everything happens for a reason, I'm told. So I trust that, and I'll go with it. And the person hasn't lost confidence in me. It's just try another day.
Yeah, perhaps they were just off that day or something, and something just didn't click with them or something like
Well,
that.
I think
Probably
it
not
was,
something you did, but maybe it's just something with them.
I think honestly it was me, because I was actually just coming off a migraine. So I should
Oh,
have been smarter and canceled the appointment, but I didn't want to disappoint them in the end. But it's okay, we live and learn. That's how we grow. It's how we experience and understand it's not a defeat. It's not that's not the right word.
yeah, you're
It's
not.
a lesson. It's just a lesson on, you should know better than to try and do this when you haven't been well.
Yeah, it's probably the universe telling you yourself that you shouldn't have done that today, and
Yeah.
this is what happens as a result when you try doing it like that. So uh, hopefully that
Sometimes we
person will
get
come
to.
back and do it again with
She
you.
will. I've been told that, in a few weeks we'll give it another go, and I'm grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, yep, definitely. So I was going to ask you, how did you, we talked about sort of how you work with all that stuff, but how did you sort of get into learning about it? You said you sort of started learning yourself. Did you sort of have any people to help you, to guide you?
The way I found Reiki was I was having a real hard time, and I wasn't doing very well. I was in a depressed state, and it wasn't a very good place. And my very, very close friend of 25 years came to me and said, "You either find something, or I'm going to take you to a doctor," kind of thing. And so I started looking for yoga, and every time I Googled yoga, Reiki came up. So you explain how you're Googling why, and R keeps coming. So divinely guided again. And one particular person kept coming up, and I thought, okay, well, this has got to be a sign if there ever was one. So I gave this person a call, and I went and I had treatments. And after the very first treatment, I noticed a difference. And I went from basically not being able to really function to started ripping my kitchen apart and redoing it. So I went from one extreme to the other. And because of that, I had to learn how to do it. So I then started to take my levels. And it's been the best thing I could have ever done for myself, but more so, I finally figured out what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And it's important work, it's work that's needed. And as long as we're doing it from our heart and not from a place of ego, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I think the Reiki really works with that because Reiki needs to be in a positive energy field, right? Like you need to be in that spot.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I think that, yeah, from your story, I think it really helped you in that way to get your energy back up. So, like you said, you went from being in a difficult situation to ripping the kitchen apart in a matter of a day.
Yeah.
So,
I'll
that's pretty
be very,
incredible.
very, I'll be very, very honest with you. Reiki, I will say Reiki saved my life. I was in a very, very depressed state. And once I started doing the Reiki and learning my levels, I still struggled for probably a couple of more years. But it was a different type of struggle. And I gained power from it, and I grew from it as not only as a person, but as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a wife. In every aspect of my life, I grew. And that's the best gift that could have been ever given to me,
Right,
because I'm here today because of that.
right. And that's amazing. Like, I think that is so amazing that that connection was made to that person that you met to help you start Reiki. And
I'm
it
very
corrected
grateful.
everything in your life. Yeah.
I'm very, very grateful. The woman's name is Michelle Canny. Her business is Guided Hands Reiki here in Barrie, and she is a phenomenal Reiki master.
Great. We'll have to look her up too sometime to see what she does.
If you want to learn amazing things about Reiki, she is the woman.
Yeah. Sounds like she helped you out a great deal. So, um,
I'm very grateful to her. I am very much so.
yeah. So, but did she kind of, she worked on you as a, like a student of hers, but, or a client of hers, but was she the one that got you into it afterwards, or did you decide on your own after your sessions that that was something that you wanted to pursue more?
I decided after the sessions that I had been experiencing with her, I always knew I could see spirit. I've had several incidences from young childhood to adult years. We spoke about that one episode that I had back when I was a teenager and I was racing horses, and I could see the soldier standing on the side of the road outside base Borden. and nobody else could see them. So it was kind of like, yeah, okay, I'll just be quiet, and I'm not going to share this with people anymore because they all think I'm nuts. But you know what? I love my kind of nuts.
Yep.
And Reiki has blessed me with the ability of bringing my intuitive gifts back and opening them back up. I credit Reiki for that. I again I had my treatments with Michelle, and then I did my level 1 and level 2 with her, but I did my master's with another instructor. I was just guided to go to somebody else for my level 3, so I did that. I still believe, though, at some point I will go back, even though I don't need to do this, but at some point I will go back and redo the master level with guided hands Reiki at some point in the future, I believe.
Right. Maybe somebody else just needed to help you with a certain point through your development that
I believe that at the right time we're moved and shifted to different energies for different reasons, and I went with it, and it's worked beautifully for me. I respect them both immensely. Mm-hmm. They are very, very, very great teachers.
Yeah, plus then you make more connections that way as well. So for the future, when you have certain situations come up and you need help from somebody, you know which one to go to. So I think that's very beneficial too. The more connections you make.
I think it's always good to have like-minded people that you could turn to and ask advice from, for sure. Because if we ever get to a point where we think we don't need to learn anymore, then we don't need to be in the business anymore.
No, fully agree.
We're always learning, always growing.
Fully agree. It's always a learning curve in this industry, in the paranormal field. That's what I tell some people when they ask, like, what are you into? You hunt ghosts. It's like, yes, that's part of it. But we also do a lot of other things. That's such a small
part of what it is, right?
Yeah. The paranormal field is so wide open that it's the same as any other field that you're into, whether you're into computers or the paranormal or whatever your work is. I mean, like, you can't know every single thing there is to know about the field. You're always learning something, and the more people you meet, the more areas you can get into. So I always say it's beneficial to meet as many people as possible so you can learn from that person. So
I absolutely agree. Always learning.
Always learning.
If we're always learning, then we're always doing positive things. That's the way I look at it. It's, you know, it's like crystals. When you think of crystals, people don't realize the amazing energies that they carry and how far back they go in healing.
Yeah, so let's talk about the crystals more a little bit. We deal with a lot of crystal work ourselves, but mostly in our field, we deal with like the pendulum end of crystals. So we'll use a pendulum for communication with spirit. What sort of energies do you work with crystals, and which crystals do you mostly work with?
Well, you can see behind me there's an entire array of things here, and that's just a small amount of the pieces that I either sell or I work with. I have a Icelandic spar in front of me that my daughter-in-law brought me back from her travels, and it's just a really high vibrating stone. It is very similar to quartz, is in its vibration, even in its look and its clarity. It's the stone that the Vikings used to navigate with.
That's interesting.
It's, you know, there's just different pieces. Like I'll just be guided to pull a piece of tiger's eye, and 90% of the time the pieces that I use are spears. Okay. I'll put a spear or a palm stone in each of their hands, and then I'll lay crystals from the top of their head to their feet. And I'm just guided to which ones need to be chosen and which ones need to go where and what they're going to do while I'm working.
So
I honestly do things so differently than I don't want to say than the average people, because that's not the right way to put it. This is where I struggle talking. I just find that different people do things different ways. We're all taught a very specific method and a very specific way of using that method. And I firmly believe in the beginning that's what we should follow. But as we open up and as we learn and we develop and use our gift and help people with it and feel those energies of those people we're treating, I believe we open and we shift and we change and things become our own and we meld different things all together. So it might be somebody comes in who's had a typical Reiki treatment. So it's like what a typical Reiki treatment would be. And then maybe they came to me and I did a Reiki treatment with a whole bunch of other stuff mixed into it. And they're going like, what is all this? It's the same thing. It's just with other things added that help pull their vibration up, help pull negative energies or attachments off. You know, people have parasites that they don't realize they have. They can't see them. They don't necessarily feel them. But when I start putting my hands over and I start feeling their energy and I start to feel where they've got these little things stuck to them, or there's a real low vibrating space in a certain area of their body, I know I need to take something and put it there that's going to work in that specific area of the body. So if it's the pancreas, I might grab a stone that is specific for the pancreas.
Yeah, for parasite, does that more mean like energy parasite or something physical parasite, like something
An
medically
energetic
wrong?
parasite, yeah.
Okay.
Where that, you know, like energetic parasites that hook into your aura and you know, so now you've got a little link into your aura and you're starting to drain energy. You get tired, you feel affected by it. Some people might have a whole bunch of them. It just depends. I'm pretty sure in the beginning when I started having treatments, I'm pretty sure some nasty stuff was pulled off of me because I went from feeling like the lowest of low, couldn't get any lower, to, hey, I might actually make it through.
Right.
It's interesting how different modalities can all fit together and all benefit one another. And I think that's what I love about the spiritual side of the world is Western medicine, typical medicine, has its place. But what energy healers do is beside that. It enhances it. It makes it, it just helps everything flow better. Like they're even using Reiki in hospitals now. I know like I said, the lady that I did my level 1 and 2 with, Michelle, she works in the hospital. She goes in and volunteers, I believe, and does work in the hospital here in Barrie. I know that there are volunteers that go and work in the hospital up in Aurelia. I actually inquired and I'm still trying to get in, but right now because of COVID, I'm not going to try and pursue, for the simple fact I've got an 82-year-old mother living with me that I got to keep safe. So
Yeah, I've heard that as well, that a lot more modern medicine is starting to turn towards things like Reiki to help heal, even other forms of New Age medicine as well. So I think that is starting to become more and more into the mainstream medical field, that that kind of stuff does help. It kind of does help your whole body, not just like, oh, it's a temporary treatment that might make you feel better kind of thing. It's something that people are actually leaning more towards rather than always relying on medical doctors' advice and stuff like that. I mean, you should still rely on your doctor's advice, but Reiki is always becoming more and more into the field.
absolutely. Reiki is not a replacement for medical treatment. It is not a replacement for a medical diagnosis. It is to work alongside with any other medical things that you are, whether it be therapy or medication or physical therapies, whatever you're doing, Reiki is in addition to. It is to assist. It does not replace any type of medical professional advice at all.
Yeah, so your doctor, whether he recommends it or not, it's just a additional beneficial thing that you could try out to help.
Exactly. And I'm finding that there are some people that work in the psychology field and whatnot that are actually open to hearing about it because they have clients that have come and experienced a treatment and have felt significantly different afterwards. And when they go and they share that with their doctor or their therapist, they either get looked at like they're crazy or their doctor is like, I'm interested. Like, share with me, like, what can you tell me so that I can learn more? And I think if our medical professionals open up to the possibility that energy healing has its place within the medical profession, a lot more would, I think a lot more people would see a lot more things happen or heal faster because the flow of energy in their body is functioning better.
Yeah, I think a lot more people are getting more used to that nowadays. Like it's becoming more accepted as another way of healing. It's not, like you said, a way of healing as opposed to medical, but it is maybe like a more natural way of healing. I guess your body might accept that as another additional help. So, yeah, I think
Exactly.
it is getting more accepted these days. So,
Well, I sure hope so because some of the things that I've personally seen and, been able to watch documentaries on and watch different things on, it can't be denied. It's here. It's a usable form of healing that works. It can't be denied. There's too many people that are experiencing it and having benefit from it for them to be for anyone to be able to say it's just hogwash. It's because it's not. There's people like me out there. I was a client before I became a practitioner, so I can truly attest to the fact it works.
exactly. So, you have your own experience beforehand, before you became a teacher of it or a practicer of it, that you were a
Yeah.
client of it. So, you've gone through that process. You know what people are going through before your clients even come. And that kind of brings us back to what we were talking about at the first of tonight's show, is how you know what your clients need before they even show up to your place. So, because the universe sort of tells you what to use. So,
Between the universe communicating with me and just my own personal experiences of my own life and the struggles that I've had through my own life and what Reiki's done for me, it does kind of give you like a little inside window to, some of your clients because you've experienced some of the things that they're experiencing at that moment in time. So not only can you share your experience with them so they know they aren't the only one that's going through it or has gone through it, or they also get the benefit of understanding that, hey, I was not unlike you and I was a client and look at me now.
do a lot of your clients sometimes ask you how to go into Reiki if they want to practice it
I
themselves?
have I've had a few ask me, yes, I have. And as they make their healing journey, I believe that they will get to a point where they either continue their levels or actually start their levels. I have some people that have come to me that are actually in the middle of their levels right now.
Oh, great. And they're liking it? They think it's beneficial for them to
Yes,
continue that? Yeah,
yes,
great.
yes.
Oh,
And I like the fact that they are actually pursuing their levels with another person, but they still feel comfortable enough to come to me to have me clear their energy. And I'm happy with doing anything for anybody as long as it's for the right reason.
yeah, and Ricky's a really personal treatment, so it's got to be the right person for the right treatment. So, yeah,
Absolutely,
it is good that they
absolutely.
can trust you that way also. Yeah.
There has to be 100% complete trust between the practitioner and the client. Absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Karen. I think that's all the questions we have for you tonight on the podcast. So thank you so much for being here with us. It was so wonderful to learn about a different area of Reiki, because we have had people on in the past talking about Reiki, but not so in depth as to how they work with different mediums like crystals and oils and what that does for certain people. So thank you very much for sharing what you do with us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on, Trevor. It's been a pleasure, and I enjoy your podcast. So please keep it up, and I look forward to seeing who your next guest's going to be.
We will, yeah. We're doing podcasts still regularly, so we're on every Saturday night at 8 o'clock. And yeah, we are planning on having many more guests on throughout the summer still, so stay tuned for that. And again,
I
thank you.
will for sure. Thank you so much. You take care. Have a great night. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that was our special guest for this evening, Karen Blackstock. She does a lot of Reiki as we were talking tonight. She also does a lot of work in healing, so she uses different medium tools such as crystals and oils and other medium tools along with the Reiki. And we got into a pretty good discussion there about sort of what she does with it and how it helps her clients out and what her clients feel afterwards and stuff like that. So if anybody needs any more information about Karen, I'm sure she'll be glad to talk to you guys about any questions that you might have. You can pass any questions on to you guys about, we can take your questions and pass them on to Karen if you like. So we'd like to thank her again for coming on to Haunting Live tonight. Other than that, we've just been doing a lot of stuff here in the studio, trying to get things tweaked out and get the audio better, stuff like that for you guys. So hopefully tonight's show went really well. I think we had a pretty good show tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm just going to go over a couple things before we sign off here for the evening. First of all, though, is as always, we recommend you guys going to check out our brand new website that we have launched a little while ago. Address is HauntingLIVEPodcast.com, and on there we have a brand new website. All of our social media feeds are on there, so you can go directly to our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, stuff like that. Our latest YouTube videos you can watch directly from our website. We have our event tickets, event page up there for our tickets for public events. You can buy tickets directly on our website now through our Eventbrite app. And the one that's up there available right now is our postponed event from this past spring. We were supposed to have it in March. However, that's when COVID hit and we had to reschedule. But we did reschedule it with the same location. Tickets are still honored if you bought tickets beforehand. You can still attend. It's going to be on the dates of November 6th and November 7th. It's a 2-day event, Friday night, Saturday night. So Friday night there is a dinner where you can have some food with us, sit down and meet us in person, stuff like that. Saturday morning and afternoon there is workshops being held throughout the day, and then we'll have a break for dinner. And then after the dinner on Friday night is the paid dinner. Saturday night we'll just have an open night. You guys go do what you like, then come back Saturday night for the ghost hunt of the Queen's Inn. So with us. And those tickets are available right now on HauntingLivePodcast.com for November 6th and 7th at the Queen's Inn Hotel in Stratford, Ontario. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody there for that event. And other than that, the only other thing we'd like to mention again to you guys, as of August the 1st, we have launched our brand new merch store on our website where you guys can get some awesome products at great prices. We have our store set up so far with the products that we have available. Whatever's on there is available currently. Go check it out just under HauntingLivePodcast.com, and at the top on the very right hand corner there's a merch tab, so just click that and check out what we have for sale. I can just show you a few things here quickly. We have stuff like sage for smudging. We basically are selling items that we use in the field, so anything like crystals, smudging. We have some chakra stones, a set of stones that work well with chakras, which we were just talking about tonight. We have some things like promotional items. We have wristbands for you guys to help support us. We have things like Palo Santo sticks for sale, which is a part of the smudging section. We have also homemade bags. These are handmade bags. We make them ourselves, and they are great for storing things like crystals or your tarot decks or anything like that for the spiritual world that you want to take somewhere. They're perfect for that. We also have homemade feathers for smudging feathers. That's under a smudge section as well. And also one big item here that we just got in, Haunting Live Trekker backpacks. These are a little bit more. We're going to be giving some of these away actually very soon also. We have them with our logo name down at the bottom there. But they're also available to purchase if you want to support us that way also. But yeah, so go check out our merch section. It's up now live on our website. We just launched it as of August the 1st. So we have everything from crystals to smudging to homemade spiritual bags, and also some promotional items on there for you guys to check out and help support the channel here at HauntingLivePodcast.com. So one other thing just before we go and sign off tonight, we are launching a brand new contest for you guys to try out. So basically there's going to be a post posted onto our Facebook page right after the show tonight, so go check out that post and find out what the rules and prizes are. There is going to be a prize after 1 week before the next podcast comes up next Saturday, so go check out the rules of the contest, and you guys can actually win some of our merch that we have, and we're going to have a prize basket for you guys if the rules of the contest are met by the next podcast next Saturday. So watch out for the post coming right away at 9 o'clock on our Facebook page, and follow the rules of the post, and we're going to try a contest out with you guys, and hopefully that goes really well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. A big thank you to our special guest tonight, Karen, for being on. It was great to talk to her about Reiki and different ways that she does Reiki, because everybody's different in this field and everything is the way it is for them. So we want to showcase that different people do mediumship and things a different way. So, and that's okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. We'll sign it off as of tonight, and hope you guys are having a great Saturday evening, and we look forward to talking to you guys next Saturday for the next Haunting Live podcast. Happy hauntings and take care.
Subscribe to OGPS Filming /Haunting Live. Check us out online across the internet, live at Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.